Hello and welcome to watching something you've already seen 3 times, but now with a bald man. My name is GiBi, this is the Horror Homestead, and you know what this video is. You clicked on it. We're going to be going through the new Secret of the Mimic trailer that was just released during Sony's State of Play. This is the first real trailer. We had the teaser a few months ago. I did a reaction video to that. I have already seen this, just a heads up. I watched it on Ducko's stream. But I'm going to be hunting for lore, maybe looking in the backgrounds, maybe there's some interesting things here. I wonder what this is going to do to book discourse. Oh boy, let's go. Okay, the first time I saw this, I was like, oh boy, we're about to see a van hit David in the middle of the road, and then that's not what happened. But I think they know that that's what we're assuming, right? When you see a van like this, like, come on, what else could it mean?
So let me explain the situation.
Okay, so that is obviously Hand Unit's voice. Some people are wondering whether or not this is an early version of Hand Unit, or maybe it's the actual person whose voice later went on to be used for Hand Unit. We'll investigate that as we go. We do have Fazbear Entertainment. This is 1979, as we know from the trailer, from the first trailer. Or maybe only part of the game is 79? We're not entirely sure. But this does give us sort of like a new insight into where Fazbear may have existed. Because why does it say 1983 on all the coins? Maybe that's just when Freddy Fazbear's Pizza existed? We're not sure. Let's go.
One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has...
So obviously Edwin canon now, all the theories that like, oh, Edwin is a parallel for Henry. Like, nope, Edwin is real. Theoretically, now that means that David is real. We know the Tiger plush already is. We'll see some other stuff in this video.
Gone missing.
Okay, let's go through this real slowly. We got the poodle thing on the left. If you've been paying attention to spoilers from the PAX demo from a few months ago, you know that people kept talking about this little poodle character. It seems like on the right is the actual head for that suit, but it also seems reminiscent of a Mangle or a Funtime Foxy. It's got the same color scheme. There's a party hat, which typically makes things seem more Freddy's-like than just general animatronics, because Freddy's is, like, for birthday parties, right? Like, you're not going to see birthday hats on, like, a Disney animatronic. And then the lions all over its muzzle makes it seem like they're, like, Funtime faceplates. So that's kind of weird. We see pipes, we see pieces, we see his little pawsies. There's a bumblebee in the top right corner. Some sort of... Yeah, that's a bear top left. Maybe, like, a beaver, but it looks like a bear. I'm going to back up. I want to hear the voice line, so hold on.
Leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse.
So he theoretically would have gone missing sometime after his son died. And so now we're going to his warehouse, which we already kind of knew. We knew from the teaser and Help Wanted 2 that, like, there's his house and then there's the big factory behind it. Gift shop and factory. I wonder which one this is. We see another dog in front of us. A sheep. A sheep wearing some sort of costume. Is it I'm going to turn up my... settings quality. Yeah, let's do 4K here. Come on. That's way better. A sheep in a mask. Wolves clothing, perhaps? In the background, there seems to be another balloon animal dog. Lots of dogs in this section. Let's keep going.
Your job is simple.
Okay, we gotta rewind that. Clown. Yeah, it's just a spooky little clown guy. Oh, and there's a lion. Hold on. Yeah, there's a lion. So it's kind of like a sheep in lion's clothing. I don't know. Trash can, maybe trashing gang.
It's simple. Enter the warehouse and retrieve the technology that he was developing for us.
Okay, so we're being sent here by Fazbear Entertainment, enter the warehouse, retrieve the technology that was being developed for us. So he's a contractor, I think they said that. So not all the stuff in here is going to be related to Fazbear Entertainment, because he worked on products that weren't just Fazbear. Alright, so obviously this door opening is reminiscent of FNAF 1. This little panel on the left, it looks like whatever that symbol is will probably be some sort of, like, way marker, like, oh, every time you reach one of those symbols, it marks the start of the next, like, segment of the game. It also kind of reminds me of the carpeting from the first teaser. It's just a very old-fashioned design. We're gonna walk into the office here. Kind of feel like I'm already playing the game, like, oh, we're gonna walk forward now. Alright, old-fashioned office, pizza box on the couch, got sketches on the left, we see little mushroom guy, watch out for exposed wiring, and then a drawing. It looks like two people, like a dad, a son, and a pinwheel. Upon closer inspections, it might be DJ Music Man. It looks like something that has lots of limbs. Not sure. Broken TV, lots of other TVs, big computer monitor. It's midnight. I'm guessing this is going to be the start of the game. Oh, and there's a fan. This is totally a reference to just like FNAF in general. I'm guessing this is the start of the game. Like you walk in here, it's midnight, and as the game goes on, you'll get closer and closer to 5 a.m. You have the little mushroom character. He's going to be the favorite character everyone has in this game. Don't be late. Late employees are subject to fines and or punishment.
Was developing for us. It
All right. Dawko said that that's the Doggo character, so that seems to be a reference to him.
Kind of prototype endoskeleton that can
Spooky Elephant Man. I think an elephant was one of the costumes we saw at the end of Ruin.
adapt to any costume and become...
There was something in there. Let's rewind a little bit. I think it was just an eye. It might just be implying that there's another row of people back there. Oh, it almost... And I'm totally making this up. It almost looks like Glitch Trap's costume. On a closer look, it actually does not look much like Glitch Trap. There's actually another animatronic back there that looks sort of like a bear. Not Freddy, but a bear. So I really just think it's another row of suits that we're walking past. This looks like a mallard duck. I'm going to definitely increase the contrast and brightness for you guys. So I might be like, oh my god, it's a duck. And then you're like, guys, it's a dog.
We suspect it may be malfunctioning, so just be aware of the slim but non-zero
A Tiger Rock, obviously.
chance that you could sustain significant injuries while attempting to retrieve it.
Okay, so it keeps saying it and it's malfunctioning and retrieve it. So you're getting one thing, one piece of property in the warehouse that belongs to Fazbear. The Mimic, question mark? But that can't, no, because the Mimic is explicitly made by Edwin. The Mimic is not Fazbear property. Edwin was making modifications to like Chica's and Bonnie's, but the Mimic was just him. So I guess we're in here getting something, and the Mimic is going to be an antagonist that has nothing to do with what we're doing. But then what's malfunctioning about it? I don't know. We obviously all have the poster on the wall here that has Freddy's number on it from Security Breach.
Including, but not...
And it's the 1983 number, which obviously is, for us, is a reference, because we know that that's when Freddy's was founded, but obviously the real world number has nothing to do with that, because this is presumably taking place in 1979. Well, let's continue. Big Elephant Man.
Not limited to death or dismemberment. We fully expect the retrieval process to go smoothly and without incident. But just in case, we suggest you get your affairs in order before arriving.
Okay, so it has the same sort of glowing eyes of Jackie that we've seen a couple times, so he's going to be jumping in and out to get different costumes. The Mimic, I mean. That does sort of make me wonder what exactly the gameplay is gonna be like. I think it would be kind of silly if, like, oh, this level you have to fight against the Mushroom Man, and the Mushroom Man's thing is that he doesn't have peripheral vision, so as long as you're behind him, he's fine. And Jackie doesn't have any legs, so she can, like, crawl after you really, really slowly. And the Elephant Man can smell you. Like, is that what the costumes are going to signify? They're going to be... Because there's only one character. The only character is the Mimic. It's not like Security Breach where you have different personalities for the different animatronics. So is the costumes just going to be the mechanics? I'm really unclear what exactly this game is. Like, okay, we're entering in to get something from Fazbear Entertainment. Okay, that's the story. But what's the game? I don't know. Alright, we got... That's the Elephant Man. He's missing an arm now. First aid kit reminds you like Half-Life. We got some sort of terminal there. Looks like we're going to have to do a puzzle where we line up those things. You can pretty clearly see an arm sticking out of the costume, which itself is missing an arm, so it's almost like there's a human inside there, and now that the costume's arm has been torn off, you can see their arm. So this could potentially be, if the books are canon, what happened to the last team that went to go get the Mimic. Yeah, so now we're just down there. Yeah, open this up, line these up. We've met this guy before, and then that present looked like it's going to be an in-universe collectible. We've seen some of this area from the teasers and trailers we've gotten before. I wish I could zoom in and read those post-it notes on the board. There he is. It was Mr. Toad himself. Tiger Rock, obviously glowing eyes. All right, we have Out of Order. We have a cake. We have a bumblebee, some sort of pirate characters. Looks like a dog. Insert data diver. Data diver. Some people think that the spaces on the bottom could be the name of the user who is allowed to have access to this terminal. So people are trying to figure out what name could fit those blanks. Schmidt, Mike would fit, but if this game actually takes place in 1979, he would be a young child. So maybe we can figure out what it stands for before the game comes out. Helper, not Helpy. Some people were talking about how this implies that the Funtime animatronics might be older than we expected, because Helpy is obviously modeled after Funtime Freddy. This could be a retcon. It could be that actually Funtime Freddy is based on Helpy. Either way, it's kind of odd to have an animatronic, not even an animatronic, just a character who's based on Freddy from Fazbear Entertainment being a computer program, right? It would be like if Chuck E. Cheese had, like, their own Windows operating system. Like if Clippy from Microsoft was also Chuck E. Cheese. It's just kind of weird. Especially since, like, yeah, Edwin's a contractor. He doesn't have, like, Fazbear technology. a Faz wrench isn't going to open the doors in his factory. Welcome to the subterminal. Please select an option, reset the welcome show, or missing executive access. Maybe that could be like a New Game Plus thing, or maybe there's going to be backtracking. Again, we don't even know what this game is. Okay, big nurse character coming at you. We have animatronic head on the table. Looks like she was fixing it. Party hat characters in the background. A duck. Does not look like... One of the other things from these trailers, and just from horror games in general, which kind of, like, upsets me, is because once you know the tricks, it's hard to really get spooked by them. But, like, there's no way... Oh, it looks like she has a name tag. Dolly? Yeah, Dolly. Like, she's not going to kill you right here. So then what is she? What is she doing? She might be like, hello, I am Dolly. Please help me find pieces for my patients, and then I'll give you the key card. So she looks scary, but I don't think she's going to be a real antagonist. She has rosy cheeks, and she maybe has something familiar to the Funtime faceplates. It definitely opens down the middle. That's not exactly the same as the Funtime faceplates, but it might imply there's some connection to William there, but who knows? Okay, you're winding up a rat. This is definitely going to be some sort of thing where you can lure the mimic away. We have a pig on the right. I really wish I could zoom in more. We got some more ducks. Everyone's freaking out. There's a Monty in the background. By a Monty, I mean there's a banjo alligator, so probably an early version of Monty. There's always been this theory that him as a character predated the Pizzaplex. That he was kind of like the mediocre melodies, or he was kind of like the costumes you see in Happiest Day from the other characters, where, like, he was a character, he was an animatronic, we just didn't see him until Security Breach. And so here we are, he's a crocodile in a southern banjo swamp, so that's Monty. We have what looks like a lion, or maybe a bear person. Carnival, not a carnival necessarily, but like a circus tent, or a hot air balloon design in the background. I hope that we get more carnival stuff. Let's keep going. Okay, you throw that as a lure, and then it cuts to this. Jackie, Music Man.
Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Thank you for being a valued member of the Fazbear team.
All right, so you're an employee. Obviously, you're not just a teenager who's breaking in, which was some of the theories. I wonder if there's a secret hidden in here, like there was in the first trailer. No. Just get Tiger Rock again. And then June 13th, that's when the game's coming out. Oh yeah. Let's watch the whole thing again. We're gonna listen. We're gonna try to pick up some context.
So let me explain the situation. One of our contractors, Edwin Murray, has gone missing, leaving our property abandoned in his warehouse. Your job is simple. Enter the warehouse and retrieve the technology that he was developing for us.
Okay, so technology. Our property and technology, not a character. He was developing it. So this isn't just him fixing up the suits, which is kind of what's talked about in the books. He's like fixing up the, like Chicas and Bonnies. This is him developing a technology. So either hand unit guys lying to us right now, or they're not talking about the Mimic. Because the Mimic is just something he made for his son.
It's a kind of prototype endoskeleton that can adapt to any costume and become any character.
Okay, so that is the Mimic. So then what's going on? That doesn't fit. That doesn't really seem like what happened in the books.
I suspect it may be malfunctioning, so just be aware of the slim but non-zero chance that you could sustain significant injuries while attempting to retrieve it, including but not limited to death or dismemberment.
Dismemberment obviously goes back to the Mimic story where he starts pulling people apart, but that is from the story where the Fazbear Entertainment people went in to clear out the warehouse and they wanted its help dismembering, like tearing the arms off of animatronics. And so they told it to do that, and then it just did that, and then it just started doing it to humans. So maybe this takes place after that? But still, I think it's a stretch to say that he was developing the Mimic technology for Fazbear. Very, very odd.
Expect the retrieval process to go
this is all, of course, assuming that the books are canon, which, you know.
smoothly and without incident. But just in case, we suggest you get your affairs in order before arriving. Back to work. Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for damage to property or person. Thank you for being a valued member of the Fazbear team.
Yeah, so not really much there in terms of what the story is going to be, or, I mean, we can say that, right? Obviously, there's a lot here about, like, the motivation of the character and who we're playing as. But it just says you're an employee. You could be anyone. You could be Bobby McGee, or you could be William. We literally don't know. Also, just the fact that the game is called Secret of the Mimic, and it's like, okay, what's its secret? Is the secret something that we, the audience, know if we read the books, assuming the books are canon? Or is the secret something that we don't know even if we read the books, which would seem like it would be the best kind of storytelling? Like, we don't want the books to reveal things before the games do. So what's the secret of the Mimic? How is it going to impact the timeline? What's going on? Is this actually 1979? Or maybe earlier events in the story that matter happened in 1979? We don't know. We don't know what's going on. All I know is that my number one theory / prediction that the game will have absolutely no impact on book discussion seems to be true. This definitely doesn't confirm anything from the books, and it seems like the only contradiction is something you can hand wave away by saying, like, Hand Unit is lying to you. He seems to imply that the Mimic is their technology. Maybe he's just saying that to, like, convince you to go in, even though Edwin designed it himself. We'll see. We'll see in June. Thank you for watching. Obviously, I'm going to be covering this game as it's coming out, as we get new information. If you like my coverage, you should be watching my weekly series where I go through all the FNAF books, and watching my other theories. Be sure to be nice to each other in the comments, consider supporting the creators you admire, and never lose sight of the things that are important to you.